You guys back again, and I just finished watching the Europa League final between my club Manchester United against Villareal. Villareal has won their first ever Europa League final in their history. Raw emotions here, guys. I'm not gonna look at any stats. I'm just gonna eyeball it. United were god awful in the first half. It was a terrible performance in that first half. We played very well for the first 15, 20 minutes, and then another set piece goal we have given up to Gerard Moreno. Easy as it could be for him. Lindelof, poor defending. Seems like when there's a ball in the box for a header, we run away. We run away scared. We look like clowns. We look foolish. And it was awful. That's where people underestimate Maguire. United fans, other fans might say Maguire's shit. He's awful. He's not good enough. He's a poor captain. Maguire's a freaking amazing captain. And when he's not in the team, everyone's saying, well, who's going to play center back for United? They got no good center backs. Well, Maguire's our captain. He's been fantastic when he's played this year. Maybe he's made a couple screw-ups in the earlier games this year. But besides that, he's been brilliant. He clears everything in the way in the air. He never misses a header when he has a chance or when he's ready for it and he's near it. Maguire's going to head that ball. He's going to get rid of it. And today, I wouldn't blame our center backs, but I would blame them on that aerial cross at set piece. It was god awful from Lindelof. Bailly could have done better. Lindelof could have done better. No need for Cavani to give that free kick. It was a stupid free kick to give up. But still, that free kick shouldn't have resulted in a goal. That was Lindelof's fault, and Lindelof shouldn't be anywhere near the starting 11, in my opinion. I would get rid of him. He was terrible today. It was god awful. But I got to say, it was a really good second half performance. After that goal, we still had 30 minutes. It was scored in the 60th minute. We still had 30 minutes to go on and win the game. We could have pushed on. We had all the momentum. We had a chance right after we scored. It was obvious we had all the momentum. We keep pushing. We kept going on. But it was a coaching mistake in the final. I hate to say it. I love Ole. I back Ole. I think he's the right man for the job. But he showed some massive flaws here once again. First of all, it's a set piece. We don't know how to defend set pieces. We're terrible. Maybe it's just the players he has, but I feel like it's the coaching. The coaching's going to be fixed on set pieces, corners, free kicks, etc. And then we score. We push on for the next 15 minutes or so. And then Villareal goes and changes basically half their squad. They bring on 5 subs, and they continue to push on an extra time and make some more subs. And United, through 90 minutes, makes absolutely no subs, stays with the first 11. And you could see into extra time, United were tired. United were drained. They lost momentum. They didn't push. They didn't press like they did in the second half. And that's down to coaching. Clear and obvious down to coaching for me. You have 90 minutes. You have extra subs. Use them. You have the likes of Donny van de Beek. Yes, Scott McTominay and Paul Pogba were playing fantastic. But you got to keep the players fresh. You got to keep the momentum going, the tempo high. United were clearly the better team in the second half. Miles better than Villareal. It was quite obvious, quite easy to see. And they just Ole coaching poor in the second half, very extremely poor. You're absolutely dominating the game. You just scored. Keep the momentum up. Keep the tempo up. Bring on a sub. Bring on 2 or 3 subs. I wouldn't have cared if he brought on Dan James or Fred. I don't like them personally. I think they're terrible at the positions they play. Dan James isn't bad, just not in the setup we're gonna play. In the nice 1-2s, the nice pass and move, and. He could have brought on Dan James for Rashford for me, easy. Bring on Amadiolo for Rashford. Bring on someone for Rashford. That was Rashford's worst game in his career, in my opinion. I think he was god-awful. And he leaves him on. And then later, and we were obviously drained. We were tired. It was a bad performance in extra time. And I'm not surprised because he didn't make a single frickin' sub in the whole for 90 minutes. And then he goes into extra time. We're slow. We're lethargic. We're pragmatic once again. And Villareal have the ball throughout the whole extra time. And United looked terrible in extra time. And that was because down there they made a whole team change basically. They changed 5 players. And we changed none. And we made all of our subs in extra time, which was ridiculous. And to bring off Paul Pogba for the shootout, I didn't understand. Yes, we still scored all 10 shots, but I don't understand why you're bringing off Paul Pogba. And Paul Pogba was absolutely fantastic in this game. He showed why he's world class for me, why he's an elite footballer, and why he needs to be played at the center mid role with Scott McTominay instead of McFred at that role. Because McTominay and Paul Pogba, they get their criticism for not tracking back, for not being defensively disciplined. Today, they were absolutely world beaters. They were fantastic. You couldn't have found a better pairing today than them. Everyone said Villareal is going to run the midfield. They're going to overrun those two. They're not going to be disciplined defensively. Paul Pogba and Scott McTominay absolutely bossed midfield. Scott McTominay was running around. He was tracking. I heard the commentator saying Villareal are doing great with the physicality of Manchester United in the Premier League style right now. I don't think they did at all. I think the commentator was off her rocker. I think Scott McTominay was fantastic. He was bowling the Villareal players, knocking them off the ball, throwing them around, and did fantastic job. That's one of the best games I've ever seen Scott McTominay play since the Leeds game back when we beat them 6-2. And Paul Pogba was unbelievable, spraying the balls around, doing what he can. And then you looked at Rashford. Rashford missed a clear chance in front of goal when it was obviously called back for offside, but he still got to bury it. He's one-on-one with the goalkeeper and he misses wide. That was a real eye-opener for myself. And then his one-on-ones weren't coming off. He had one one-on-one again in the first half that came off, and his other 1v1s were terrible. His passing was atrocious. His work off the ball wasn't great. He wasn't tracking back fantastically until he got tired late in the game. And I understand you're leaving him on for the pen, but he should have been taking off at the 60th, 65th minute for Ahmed, or taking off for Dan James or Juan Mata or Donny van de Beek. Change it up. He was terrible today. And then once he hit extra time, I always knew it was coming to penalties because we played awful in extra time. It was always going to be Villareal. So if anyone's going to score in extra time, it was going to be them. They were fit. They were mentally ready. They were energized, they were confident, and they were ready to go because they just wanted to bring the pens. And once they saw we were tired and exhausted, they were going to push on, and they weren't going to push on too hard just in case we could counter them. Once they saw Dan James, Rashford, Bruno, and Cavani still on the pitch, they obviously weren't going to push on that much, but they still were the team that was always going to win it in extra time for me. And then you go to pens. Pens are an absolute lottery. Once United lost, coin toss had to shoot second. I wasn't too confident, but when I saw Daniel James and Fred shoot, I wasn't confident again. They kept scoring. Yes, everyone scored and Dave missed it. You could every United fan and everyone on Twitter, Facebook, social media are going to be Dave De Gea screwed up the penalty. David De Gea shouldn't have been in net. David De Gea should have scored. He didn't look confident. He didn't have the conviction. Blah, 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 blah. Yes, he didn't look confident taking the penalty. He tried to place it. I'm not going to freaking holler at David De Gea because he missed a penalty. His job is to save the ball and keep the ball in the net. I've never known someone for a goalkeeper to say, oh, I should be scoring that. This should have been me. I should be stepping up there. The only goal you see is Ederson who wants to take a penalty. And that's because Ederson is a brilliant penalty kick taker and can score a goal. Fair on him. But David De Gea, you can't blame your goalkeeper for losing you the game in a penalty shootout. Penalty shootout is a lottery. Rulli, for me, didn't really put his foot through it and scored. Good for him. Villareal had some great penalties. Dave should have saved, I think it was the third penalty that he got his hand on. If he guessed the right way earlier in the penalty, he was saving Moreno's, or I can't remember who took the second one, but he was saving those two, and he should have saved the third one. But you can't blame David De Gea for missing the last penalty or something he should have been at or something he should have saved. It's a penalty shootout. It's a lottery at the end of the day. Fair to Villareal, they won the game fair and square. But for me, this was a coaching mistake from Manchester United and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. This shows that he's not there. So Unai Emery, it's his competition. It's the Unai Emery League. Good to Villareal, winning it first ever time in their club's history. But always obviously going to be given a contract in the next couple of days, I feel. I don't think you can not give him a contract, but he's shown some real flaws in his game tonight for me. Set pieces clear, and then substitutions and game management late clearly. He's been able to do it in some games, but this game was absolutely atrocious. Not making any subs through 90 minutes is absolutely appalling. You have the likes of Donny van de Beek, Nemanja Matic. You have Amadiolo, Daniel James, Juan Mata. Bring somebody on the frickin' pitch to change the game or give some more energy. Even Juan Mata could give him some energy, and he's not the youngest spring chicken in the world. He's still a fantastic footballer. But Villareal, fair play for your first ever Europa League. This was pure emotion, guys. I would have been dropping F-bombs and everything all over the place if I could, but I won't since it is family-friendly content. But during the game, I was definitely not family-friendly because I was dropping F-bombs all over the place, as I'm sure all Man United supporters were. But, guys, it's obviously a stressful, annoying, and my head's all over the place, guys. I got to prepare to go coach in a little bit. I'll see you guys later. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys can give me some feedback, help me out with the game, give me your thoughts on the game, what Ole did wrong, what you guys thought he did right, how United played, how Villareal played, what you think of Pau Torres if he's coming to United. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Hit that sub button. Give me a like. Let me know what you guys think. Love the support around the content, and I'll see you guys for the next one, and hopefully it's more positive than this. Peace.